100 images of smart people staring at computer screens, engineering in the world of bits. But the AI economy will primarily depend on and transform the world of atoms. Now, at this moment, we face the extraordinary prospect of a new industrial revolution, one on par with the invention of the steam engine or Bessemer steel. But it will never come to pass if overregulation deters innovators from taking the risks necessary to advance the ball. Nor will it occur if we allow AI to become dominated by massive players looking to use the tech to censor or control users' thoughts. And I'd ask, if you step back a moment and ask yourself, who is most aggressively demanding that we, meaning political leaders gathered here today, do the most aggressive regulation? It is very often the people who already have an incumbent advantage in the market. And when a massive incumbent comes to us asking us for safety regulations, we ought to ask whether that safety regulation is for the benefit of our people or whether it's for the benefit of the incumbent. Now, over the last few years, we've watched as governments, businesses, and nonprofit organizations have advanced unpopular and, I believe, downright ahistorical social agendas through AI. In the U.S., we had AI image generators trying to tell us that George Washington was black or that America's doughboys in World War I were in fact women. Now, we laugh at this now, and of course it was ridiculous, but we have to remember the lessons from that ridiculous moment. And what we take from it is that the Trump administration will ensure that AI systems developed in America are free from ideological bias and never restrict our citizens' right to free speech. We can trust our people to think, to consume information, to develop their own ideas, and to debate with one another in the open marketplace of ideas. Now, we've also watched as hostile foreign adversaries have weaponized AI software to rewrite history, surveil users, and censor speech. This is hardly new, of course. As they do with other tech, some authoritarian regimes have stolen and used AI to strengthen their military, intelligence, and surveillance capabilities, capture foreign data, and create propaganda to undermine other nations' national security. I want to be clear. This administration will block such efforts, full stop. We will safeguard American AI and chip technologies from theft and misuse, work with our allies and partners to strengthen and extend these protections, and close pathways to adversaries attaining AI capabilities that threaten all of our people. And I would also remind our international friends here today that partnering with such regimes, it never pays off in the long term. From CCTV to 5G equipment, we're all familiar with cheap tech in the marketplace that's been heavily subsidized and exported by authoritarian regimes. But as I know, and I think some of us in this room have learned from experience, partnering with them means chaining your nation to an authoritarian master that seeks to infiltrate, dig in, and seize your information infrastructure. Should a deal seem too good to be true, just remember the old adage that we learned in Silicon Valley: if you aren't paying for the product, you are the product. Finally, this administration wants to be very clear about one last point. We will always center American workers in our AI policy. We refuse to view AI as a purely disruptive technology that will inevitably automate away our labor force. We believe, and we will fight for policies that ensure that AI is going to make our workers more productive, and we expect that they will reap the rewards with higher wages, better benefits, and safer and more prosperous communities. From law to medicine, manufacturing, the most immediate applications of AI almost all involve supplementing, not replacing, the work being done by Americans. Now, combined with this administration's worker-first approach to immigration, we believe that a U.S. labor force prepared to use AI to its fullest extent will instead attract the attention of businesses that have offshored some of these roles. To accomplish this, the administration will make sure that America has the best trained workforce in the world. Our schools will teach students how to manage, how to supervise, and how to interact with AI-enabled tools as they become more and more a part of our everyday lives. And as AI creates new jobs and industries, our government, businesses, and labor organizations have an obligation to work together to empower the workers, not just of the United States, but all over the country, all over the world. To that end, for all major AI policy decisions coming from the federal government, the Trump administration will guarantee American workers a seat at the table, and we're very proud of that. Now, I've taken up enough of your time, so I'd like to close with just a quick story. This is a beautiful country, President Macron, and I know that you're proud of it and should be. And yesterday, as I was touring Les Invalides with General Gravette with my 3 kids, he was kind enough to show me the sword that belonged to America's dearest international friend from our own revolution, of course, the Marquis de Lafayette. He let me hold the sword, but of course he made me put on the white gloves beforehand. And it got me thinking of this country, France, and of course of my own country, and of the beautiful civilization that we have built together with weapons like that saber. Weapons that are dangerous in the wrong hands, but are incredible tools for liberty and prosperity in the right hands. I couldn't help but think of the conference today. If we choose the wrong approach on other things that could be conceived of as dangerous, things like AI, and choose to hold ourselves back, it will alter not only our GDP or the stock market, but the very future of the project that Lafayette and the American founders set off to create. Now, this doesn't mean, of course, that all concerns about safety go out the window, but focus matters. And we must focus now on the opportunity to catch lightning in a bottle, unleash our most brilliant innovators, and use AI to improve the well-being of our nations and their peoples. With great confidence, I can say it is an opportunity that the Trump administration will not squander. And we hope everyone convened here today feels exactly the same. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for your comments. I would now like, it gives me great honor to call to the podium Her Excellency President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen.
Monsieur le Président, cher Emmanuel, Presidents, Your Serene Highness, Prime Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 3rd Summit on AI in just over 1 year. In the same period, 3 new generations of ever more powerful AI models have been released. Some expect models that will approach human reasoning within a year. Now, the past summits focused on laying the groundwork for AI safety. We built a shared consensus that AI will be safe and that it will promote our values and benefit humanity. But this summit is focused on action. And that is exactly what we need right now. The time has come for us to formulate a vision of where we want AI to take us as a society and as humanity. And then we need to act and accelerate Europe in getting there. And that is what I'd like to address today, Europe's specific place in the global race on AI. We want Europe to be one of the leading AI continents. And this means embracing a way of life where AI is everywhere. You all know that AI can help us boost competitiveness, protect our security, shore up public health, make access to knowledge and information more democratic. And this is what you, the entrepreneurs, the researchers, the investors, the business leaders are showcasing here in Paris and that you are doing every single day. This is a glimpse of the AI continent we want to become. Now, too often, I hear that Europe is late to the race, while the United States or China have already gotten ahead. I disagree, because the AI race is far from being over. Truth is, we're only at the beginning. The frontier is constantly moving. Global leadership is still up for grabs. And behind the frontier lies the whole world of AI adoption. AI has only just begun to be adopted in the key sectors of our economy and for the key challenges of our times. And this should be Europe's focus. Bringing AI to industry-specific applications and harness its power for productivity and for people. And this is where Europe can truly lead the race. So Europe has everything to gain. But of course we need our own distinctive approach to artificial intelligence. Too often, I have heard that we should replicate what others are doing and run after their strengths. I think that instead we should invest in what we can do best and build our own strengths here in Europe. Our own strengths are our science and technology mastery that we have given to the world. As this summit shows, there's a distinct European brand of AI. It is already driving innovation and adaptation, and it is picking up speed. So, what are the main features? First, European AI focuses on AI adoption in complex applications, using our unique industrial and manufacturing data and know-how. Second, European AI is cooperative. It brings talents together from different countries, from different sectors, from different backgrounds. It is that same spirit of our collaborative approach to science which has produced many a breakthrough and a huge pool of talent. Just think about Horizon Europe. And third, European AI embraces the power of open source. And open source can spread much faster along with proprietary systems. It is for all these reasons that the AI startup scene in Europe is booming. The number of unicorns has increased by 10 times in just a few years. So this European brand of open innovation is showing results. But now it needs to be supercharged. It needs to get a push. And this is why it's the right place to be here at this AI Action Summit. We will act in two ways. First, we want to accelerate innovation. Europe has some of the world's fastest public supercomputers. We're now putting them at the service of our best startups and our best scientists so they can forge the AI we need. They can test their model. They can train their model on our supercomputers. In just a few months, we've set up a record of 12 AI factories. And we're investing 10 billion euros in them. And this is not a promise. This is happening right now. And it is the largest public investment in AI in the world. So this will unlock over 10 times more private investment. Our goal is that every company, not only the big players, can access the computing power they need. We want AI developers to compete based on how innovative they are, not just on their access to chips or the size of their financial firepower. And now we are also bringing AI factories to the next level, to AI gigafactories, very large data and computing infrastructure for very large models. We want to replicate the success story of the CERN in Geneva. As you all know, CERN hosts the largest particle accelerator in the world, and it allows the best and the brightest minds in the world to work together. And we want the same to happen in our AI gigafactories. We provide the infrastructure for large computational power. Researchers and entrepreneurs and innovators will be able to join forces. Talents of the world are welcome. Industries will be able to collaborate and federate their data. We're creating safe space for them. Just take the European health data space. Because yes, AI needs competition, but AI also needs collaboration. And AI needs the confidence of the people and has to be safe. And actually, this is the purpose of the AI Act, to provide for one single set of safe rules across the European Union, 450 million people, instead of 27 different national regulations and safeties in the interest of business. At the same time, I know that we have to make it easier and we have to cut red tape, and we will. Finally, computational power requires immediate, substantial financial capital from both public and private. In this context, I welcome the European AI Champions initiative that pledges 150 billion euros from providers, investors and industry. And today I can announce that with our Invest AI initiative, we can top up by 50 billion euros, so thereby we aim to mobilize a total of 200 billion euros for AI investment in Europe. We will have a focus on industrial and mission-critical applications. It will be the largest public-private partnership in the world for the development of trustworthy AI. And finally, cooperative AI can be attractive well beyond Europe, including our partners in the Global South. And in this spirit, we fully support the AI Foundation that is being launched today. AI can be a gift to humanity, but we must make sure that its benefits are widespread and that its benefits are accessible to all. We want AI to be a force for good. We want an AI where everyone collaborates and everyone benefits. This is our path. This is our European path. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, President von der Leyen, for your comments and for the announcements that you made today. It gives me great pleasure to continue this discussion on unlocking opportunities. And we've discussed the opportunities that we tend to speak about a lot in health, in a number of sectors. Let me maybe start by one of the not so obvious ones. Let's start with arts and creative industries. First of all, we have dedicated during this AI week a whole weekend to this topic of AI and art and culture. We have had both wonderful creations showcased by artists, but also discussions about the challenges that lie between AI and creation, because it's not always something that comes as the first example of benefits of AI. With us today we have Farah Williams. We're delighted to have you here. You're an extraordinarily creative artist, and so who better than you could share a few thoughts about AI and creativity? Farah, please.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I don't know how you guys do this with the thing in the ear. The benefits for me are very different than what we often hear discussed when people reference AI. Most of the time when we hear about AI, we hear mostly fears. It's going to take our jobs, it's going to take your job, it's going to take this, it's going to take that. And it's interesting to me because, you know, as we think about the preparedness for AI, we're worried about what it's going to do, but you have to remember who and what is going to be using it and for what reasons. People will need to use AI. They're going to need jobs. There will be jobs there for them. Will there be some jobs that people lose? Sure. But I think if you're going to be prepared for AI, then you have to be prepared for AI. Me personally, I see it like I think we have our fears miscasted in the wrong areas. Like, I don't think we should be fearful of what AI is going to do. What we should do, you know, in this whole AI race, what we need to remember is the human race. Because it's humans that are essentially going to be using the AI, and it's what they're going to do. You know, are they people with good conduct or bad conduct? Are they people with great ideas, inspiration, and innovation, or is it criminals? Right? I think we need to work on ourselves. And I think if we can get ourselves in a good place, humming like an engine, then when AI really truly penetrates regular everyday society and community lives, I think it's going to be fine because people will have the right ideas about how we use it. It, in my opinion, you know, it's just like alcohol or a car or firearms. Believe it or not, it takes responsibility. Alcohol in the wrong in the wrong hands is a problem. A car in the hands of someone who is too young and inexperienced to drive it could be life-threatening. AI is no different. It's who's using it and what the intention is what I think we need to think about first and foremost.
Do you use AI for some of to help you create, or do you just use it in daily life, or do you just not use it?
Well, that's the other thing too. You know, people talk about like creatives using AI. We wouldn't use AI to help us write a song. Well, then what would we do? Right? AI is much more like worker bee, minutia are the ways that we would use it. Other people would use it in a computational way, you know, in some lab or, you know, maybe an organization set up in some sort of, with tech, would use it in a completely different way. But the way that we would use it would be much more like utility. It wouldn't replace creativity. I just think that there's just too much fear around it. And, you know, there was a whole thing around the year 2000 as well. But we're fine. We survived that. Or, you know, in my country they call it libraries. Here it's called a bibliothèque. It's still there. You can go visit it. It's not replaced. It's a beautiful place to walk around in, and you can research. But there's nothing like a search engine, right, Sundar? There's nothing like a beautiful place where you can go and search. But this is the next step. This is the place where you can not only ask questions, but you can get examples back. I think that's an amazing thing, and I think there's nothing to be fearful about. It's just, we just have to be prepared. Just don't treat it the way we did when we brought alcohol into the conversation, or how we did cars. We need to treat this a little bit different. This is a great opportunity for us as a species to move forward with utility.
Well, thank you. I think we've heard over the years lots of comparisons for AI, but alcohol is one that I hadn't heard. So, but I take great comfort from your vision, which is really of AI augmenting artists and your job. Maybe I can ask a question of Sundar Pichai. We're delighted to have you here. I've heard you speak about risks of AI, but also about the way it can help augment communities, for example. So what are your thoughts on this and on the opportunities and how we can unlock them in AI?
First of all, thank you, President Macron, Prime Minister Modi. It's great we are having a conversation on such an important topic. Look, at Google, we have felt this important tension, both, the wonderful opportunities AI presents. It's obviously a dual-use technology, like you gave examples, and so the risks that come with it. So we actually encapsulated this tension as, a bold and responsible, that our approach needs to be both bold and responsible, and there is tension between it, but we grapple with it. The reason we need to be bold is, it is so obvious as we are making progress, how profoundly it'll impact many areas. The best example I can think of is with AlphaFold, we have now unlocked, how to decode protein structures. Just so that everyone understands, it used to take one person their entire PhD